There is a moment, usually early in the morning, when the world has not yet remembered its own noise. A moment when the air stands still, when the trees hold their breath, and even the sky seems to pause as if listening for something it once knew. Most people move past this moment without noticing. But if you've ever stopped, even once, and allowed that stillness to seep into your bones, you know it carries a strange kind of power, a power that feels older than memory, calmer than thought, and deeper than sound. This is the power of silence. And tonight, we are going to explore how nature uses it to shape awareness, and how we can learn from that ancient, wordless wisdom.
This is not imagination. Research shows that quiet, natural environments engage the parasympathetic nervous system, the system that calms the body, lowers the heart rate, and deepens perceptive clarity. Silence here becomes a tuning fork. The forest is tuning itself, and you are tuning with it. Now, let the forest fade and drift with me into the deep ocean. Not the crashing surf or the lively coral reefs, but the twilight zone, where sunlight dissolves into shifting blue shadows. Here, silence is heavy. It moves like a slow current. It holds centuries inside it. Marine biologists describe a phenomenon called the deep sound channel, a layer of water where sound can travel for hundreds of miles with barely any loss of energy. Down here, silence is not the absence of sound. It is the perfect medium for sound to exist. Whales sing into this quiet, their calls drifting across entire ocean basins, messages carried by silence itself. In this realm, animals don't see their environment first. They hear it. They sense pressure changes, vibrations, the faintest ripples of motion. Awareness in the deep sea is almost entirely shaped by quiet. And humans, too, have been shaped by this oceanic silence. Ancient sailors navigated not by sight, but by feeling the rhythms of waves against their vessels, learning to read silence the way others read maps. It is a reminder that awareness is not just thinking, it is sensing, feeling, listening to what the world whispers beneath its surface. Now imagine a desert at dusk. Temperatures fall, wind softens, the day's heat evaporates into the vast open air. The desert's silence is immense, a kind of spaciousness that seems to stretch endlessly outward. Here, awareness becomes panoramic. Your mind feels bigger, as if the quiet has expanded the very boundaries of thought. In this emptiness, there is clarity. Nomadic cultures understood this intuitively. They used desert silence as a place of orientation, a space where decisions became obvious, because silence stripped life down to its essentials. The desert teaches a different lesson from the forest or the ocean. It teaches that silence creates space, space for ideas, space for intuition, space for the faint truths we often bury beneath noise. Now let's bring all of this back to the quiet that lives inside you, the inner stillness that rises when external noise finally loosens its grip.
Meditation research shows that silence activates regions of the brain responsible for self-awareness and emotional regulation. But you don't need meditation to experience this. You only need to pause long enough to let the mental dust settle. In that settling, something subtle happens. Thoughts slow down, breathing deepens, tension melts away from the muscles, and suddenly awareness is no longer a narrow beam, but a wide, gentle glow. This inner silence is not about stopping thoughts. It is about noticing them, watching them drift like clouds across an open sky. Just as forests recalibrate and oceans harmonize and deserts expand, your mind returns to its natural state in silence. A state of readiness, a state of balance, a state of clear, resonant awareness. Nature uses silence with extraordinary wisdom. Forests use it to balance ecosystems. Oceans use it to transmit information. Animals use it for survival. Humans use it for insight, healing, and clarity. The lesson is simple and yet deeply profound. Silence is not the opposite of sound. Silence is what gives sound meaning. Silence is what gives awareness shape. Silence is where the mind remembers itself. When you begin to listen, not with your ears, but with your presence, you discover that silence has been guiding you all along. If this journey through silence has resonated with you, if some part of you felt a soft, familiar pull toward the quiet places within yourself, then take a moment before you scroll away to honor that feeling. And if you'd like to explore more gentle, deeply detailed journeys like this, stories of nature, science, awareness, and the quiet mysteries that shape our lives, consider supporting this channel by subscribing, leaving a like, sharing this with someone who needs a moment of calm, or simply staying for the next story. Your presence here helps keep this space peaceful, thoughtful, and alive. For now, let the silence linger a little longer. Let it settle into your breath. Let it soften the edges of your day. And whenever you need it, the quiet will always be waiting.